prolonged anger can result in a lot of relationship management problems, can result in a lot of unhappiness, can result in a lot of stress. And when anger is left unchecked for an appreciable period of time, when it's held down too long or too much of it, like it happens in some societies all over the world, like what happens in the black areas where blacks are more concerned in America. We hear about this. That's why I say that Black Lives Matter. It's a sort of provocation. So when this anger it become repressed for too long, it's become nursed for too long, it can result in crime. It can result in physical violence. It can result in mental illness. It can result in various forms of crime, because the person will just think I'm trying to get him back at the society. That's what it will be called. So then loss of productivity, like in the place of work, and high level of unhappiness. Like one story I also followed on YouTube about a black ex-marine. His son was just left home. The mother was late, so it's the father and the son happens to be a teenager that is loved in the school, very athletic, with very high prospects. So he was just going. He went to the store and was just going back home to meet his father, and they have dinner together. Then this police officer white just saw him and just stopped him, and the boy stopped. All these ones were verified by the body cam of the officer, as well as the security camera in the nearby shops. So the boy stopped. He was carrying I think a cup of baby juice or something like juice or yogurt. And the boy was trying to just push and maybe bring out his ID card to show I'm a student. The next thing that followed, the officer just brought up his gun and ran about, I think, 2 or 3 bullets into the boy's chest. People around rushed out, but they could not do anything because the officer said they were trying to disturb his operation. So that's how the boy fell, and his blood was flowing on the street. The ambulance came, they carried him, but he was dead. The message got to his father. He came. All he could see was his dead boy. The only thing he had, because the mother was late. They said they were doing the investigation, and they said, well, the officer committed no serious offense. He was put on administrative leave. And that's how the case went to sleep. Every day, the father of the boy, I think his name was Johnson, would be replaying back, because the video was put on the news, the video of the body count, of the CCTV. The newspaper got a hand of that. So he had that on his laptop and he played it over and over every night. He couldn't do it. His colleagues came to see him, but the sorrow was too much. The anger, the injustice. Because he showed that the boy did not carry any weapon. He went to the store. There is evidence to show that he went to the store. The store, some stores have the CCTV camera, the street camera showed that the boy. So he was, just walking on the street from the store back home. That means the store was not far from the home. I'm talking about provocation, things that bring, and if anger is not well managed. To cut the long story short, since the law could not take care of it and they were taking it for granted, the man took the law into his hand and went after the police officers one by one. And we just look, after dealing with them, you will just put a tag on them for Johnson. So you could see. So anger not well managed, anger repressed for too long, anger taken for granted can lead into serious crime and serious damages in the society and the society. Please, you can share your comments, give your thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed to my, please subscribe. These are things we need to talk about because we have enough challenge on the ground now. We don't want to add to it. Also, if anger, causes of anger, as I've said, are numerous, but if it's not well managed, it can also lead to substance use and substance misuse and sometimes what we call drug abuse. Because sometimes, when you are trying to repress the anger, you don't want to do anything stupid. So to drowse, to try to control yourself, just swallow it. Some people, when they are angry, if they do something so very nasty. That's why some of their friends will say, come on, take it, breathe in. But the pain is already here. He has seen what he has seen. He has felt what he has felt. Like the case of this ex-officer. His son was murdered in cold blood, and justice was put in the cooler. Just because he was black, young boy, neatly dressed, walking on the street. Not attacking anyone, insult. He didn't even insult to talk to the officer. So let us take note of this. Now, it has been also discovered, that's why we're talking about this, that if anger is not well managed, it becomes what's called chronic anger. Okay? It can lead to coronary heart diseases. That's our problem. Why? It can lead to stroke because it can lead to high blood pressure. It can lead to common physical illnesses because this one will now affect the body's immune system. Because anger secretes hormones that affect the sympathetic nervous system. So you can see. So it increases also the attitude of risk taking. Like that ex-military officer now, he took the risk. He could have been caught, but he was never caught because he disappeared from the radar. You remember this? This is those people that are especially trained. They call them black ops officers. They was trained, just like Rambo, specially trained officer. But he was given voluntary retirement, I think when the wife died, to try and do some other jobs, so that he could be able to have time to train the boy, to see the boy grow, to mentor the boy properly. And the boy was doing fine, too was doing fine. They were just managing their lives like that. So this one spark in his brain, and that brought the problem, which has led to loss of nothing less than 10 lives of police officers. You can check the YouTube. I don't remember the title of the story now. So it can lead to poor decision making because when you are angry, your thinking faculty, your thought pattern will become distorted. Your body will be vibrating, and it also lowers social support. Why? Because people see that you are always angry, or 2 times they try to avoid you, stay off you. So that's why we try to repress anger. So tomorrow or Friday we look at what are the benefits and the dangers of repressed or suppressed anger. So we have to make sure that we manage our angers very well, because anger is related to either you fight, you run, or you freeze. When you feel angry, check yourself. It's either you want to defend yourself, that is fight. You can fight verbally, you can fight physically, you can fight psychologically, you can fight emotionally with some other ways, but you want to defend yourself, defend your ego. And you can fight some other means, like people when they fight, they do what you call subterfuge attack. They attack in some other ways that are not really direct, and that is more dangerous. So it's either fight, flight, or freeze. Freeze means when it happens because you don't want to misbehave, you don't want to say or do what you don't want to do, you just calm, freeze. Like they taught in the military. Take a deep breath, control, don't show any emotions. That will happen to that military officer. I learned a lot from him. Freeze, don't show emotion, don't show anger. Don't let it show on your face. But inside, it was boiling. Say, what? You did it to my son? So, let us take note of that so that anger is well managed. And what I will also advise here is that what is the mechanism of anger? Maybe I should just say that before we round off in the next 2-3 minutes. The mechanism of anger, as I said earlier, the anger emotion arouses the sympathetic nervous system, which will result, note, you can check it out yourself whether this is true with your own system. Increase heart rate, that means your heartbeat will increase when you are very angry. That's why you see some people when they are angry, their body will start to vibrate. Their eyes will become, some wide open, some it will be narrow like that of a viper, or that of a white snake, or like that of a cat. Then the blood pressure also surges up. Then the blood flow to the voluntary muscles. You know, I said it's either fight, flight, or freeze. You know, these are things that are controlled by your physiology. Freeze is one of the worst. Because freeze means you try to just calm yourself down, hold your system. Sometimes you even hold your breath. Sometimes try to control, try to force it down, push down the pressure. So then the glucose to the blood system will increase. You can see why it can lead to this blood sugar problem. If one gets angry too often, it can break the level of the control. So the blood sugar glucose to this system will increase rapidly. You know, it's for flight or for fight, you need more energy. That's where the adrenaline and all of them will just go to work and say, prepare, refuel, double up. And the system will jack up, is supplied. It's why the anger can be dangerous if it's not well managed. So that's why whatever you get you angry, try and manage it very well. If you know somebody or something you get you angry, if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you have to face it, well, pray for that grace and that strength. Train yourself to be able to manage it. Then your breathing rate will, that's why I say, because you are trying to see, but you know, because for the blood sugar to rise, you know, we call it a tricarboxylic acid cycle. When you try to produce burn and prepare for the thing, so you need a lot of oxygen. It's oxygen that will cause the oxidation of the glucose. When the glucose being produced, it has to be oxidized to produce energy. So that's why your breathing rate have to increase to put in the energy that it needs to fire up. So that's why if your friends and things are like that, or you do it for yourself, if you are trained, if you train yourself to do that, take a deep breath, hold it. That will try to now bring down the surge. So then your senses will become sharper. Remember, fight or flight or freeze, even when you freeze, because whatever brought that anger is something that's inimical to your joy, to your happiness, to your well-being, and that thing is in your environment. So your senses become peeled. So when you watch films and you see this, watch out for that. When you see these people that are being trapped and they are in anger, they just, especially that of Michael J. White, he demonstrates this very well. And that of Denzel Washington, you see the eyes will go like this. He do it so subtly that surveying the environment, counting the number of the antagonists against him, then assessing their weapons. It's very sensitive. In that case, it freezes Okay, because that sudden movement can bring a sudden attack. So it freezes the system. You freeze your system and say, that the brain is calculating, working at a fast rate. The internal thing is going on. So you can see anger is not something you joke with. Now, some people now start to sweat. But for those who have trained themselves to now to manage anger, the sweat is not to come up, because sweat will come up because of the rate of breathing has increased, the blood pressure has increased. But in this case, you are now able to manage all these things, to now control. Like the breathing, say I said, take a deep breath. But you won't let it be too evident to the people that are causing, or things that is causing the anger, the stressor itself, so that they will not say you are afraid of something. Just have to stay calm. But internally, you're not calm at all. Your brain is working over time, and your system is now seeing what can be done to get out of the situation. And that is why people that are quiet, they don't get angry easily. You need to monitor them very well and handle and manage them very well, because they have learned to freeze their system. Remember, they have avoided the first two. Elijah Babalola, you're welcome. Thank you for reflecting with me. They have managed to take care of the first. That is fight or flight. They know that if I fight in this situation, either with my mouth, I can say something I need not to say, especially if it's with somebody that is superior in you want to take you. Or if you start to fight, the odds are against you. Well, you just calculate and you consider what you can do another time. Then you cannot run, because the odds also are against you. So you don't need to run for, you have to face it and settle it, at least amicably with some sense. Then your brain, your thinking is also go into overwork. That's why you don't allow anger to rule you. If it rules you, your thought pattern will be disturbed. So what you do, whatever anybody does, just take a deep breath, try to understand, so why is this person doing the what was the gain, what was the arch, what was the catch? Then you have to tell yourself, you won't get me. Remember, your joy, your happiness, your survival, your well-being, one of the major goals of anger is your survival. Is what? Your survival is to help to survive, because what is causing the anger is something that's inimical to your joy and your peace. And you have to make, you want to defend your joy, you want to defend your peace, you want to make sure you can get me down. You cannot disturb you cannot disturb my progress. But for you to do that, you have to apply sense. And that's why you need to learn to operate on the freeze. But that freeze also, it has to be done under control, because freezing too much can bring damage to your internal system, to your mental. It can cause what's called poor mental health, because you'll be doing thinking and you may do overthinking. And that is what affected that ex-military officer, the special ops officer. The thing was kept too long, over and over. He could not eat because he was thinking of the son caught down in Cobra. That is why he requested for voluntary retirement at the age of 40, I think, yes, 40 something. Because the boy was just 17. The only child he had, the mother was late. So over and over again, it was just ruminating over it, and the thing now brought to that boiling point level. So that is why anger needs to be managed very well. Place and place and place. Anger is part of our nature. But the challenge here is the management and the causative factors. So if you know some things will get you angry, if you can avoid them, avoid them. If something you have to face, then you need to go tactically. You may not be a military officer, but I will suggest go and study some of these things they teach them in the military. Tactical management of situations. You may also try and study some psychology. Go and do it. There's only PDF how to manage anger, how to manage unfavorable situation circumstances around you, because your joy, your happiness is your prerogative. Nobody will do it for you. People will rather enjoy getting you angry, because when you get angry, they have you under there, they can now manipulate you. Go and check from every serious military officer, well trained. Also in martial arts. Also go and study martial arts. I did a little study of martial arts, so I have a little understanding of that. That's one of the training is meditation, to know how to control. And you can learn that from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, so you now use the anger of your opponent against him, because whenever you are angry in the martial art field, you've already shot yourself in the leg. That's why you see that Muhammad Ali always try to provoke his opponent. Go and check his story. And that's why you also see in WWE wrestling, they try to provoke their opponent. And that's what Polyman just like to do. They say get into their mind, into their brain. But once you can control your feelings, your emotion, don't allow anybody to get angry. And let me just tell you, somebody that's managing that very well in wrestling is a lady called Io Sky. She'll just be smiling, she'll be like a baby. She didn't allow people to get angry. Okay? So if somebody succeeds to get you angry once, twice, then you're already getting trouble. You're already falling into the person's playbook, to person's hand. And if you not allow this, your regular is not to allow that. Once you allow that, when they want to get at you, it's just a question of tuning that you don't do something. Then it will be deliberate. It will be deliberate. And the person may now come and say sorry later. And the person may now tell people that want to get you down, for want to get you down, what they need to do. It may be in your office. They just set up something against you. It's a lie. You know it's a lie. But you know who knows it's a setup. They now say it, and you now get to the maybe management meeting. They say you say this, you know, all you just see next time is maybe they have a board meeting and they call you to come and answer to something. They say, Mr. So-so, Mrs. So-so, Miss So-so, did you actually say this? You now say, yes, I said it. But I didn't mean it that way. Did you actually, do you know it means A, B, C, D? Like you know something. Something happened somewhere in Lagos here. Some officers, they were discussing, as if they are just discussing the challenge they have in office with the management. While they were discussing, you know, out of anger, okay, this our boss used to do this one, used to do stress or do, they were just giving all sorts of complaints and so on. Okay. Actually, one of them was busy recording the discussion after people have committed themselves with their they will call it self-expression, venting their anger. You don't have to vent the anger by saying whatever is in your mind. This mole now went to the boss and said, excuse me, see what ABC have been saying about you. You can see. So that's why you don't allow anyone. Just stay your cool and follow your path. Like one of my guys say, maintain your lane. Protect yourself. And I'll close with this. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 said, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the use of life. People want to get at your heart. The heart is not this one that is pumping blood. The heart is your mind, which is the control tower, which is the super control, which is the hard drive of your life, which is the now, which is the control room of your life, which determines everything that concerns you. So don't allow anybody to tamper with it, please. Until we meet again on this same channel, in the Sinuga Reflection, in the night reflecting with you. Anger will not get the better of you. You will overcome. You will be above. Yes, you get angry. Like that, the Bible advises, be angry but do not sin. No, be angry in psychology, but do not allow it to lead you to what's called maladaptive behavior. Do not let it make you to do something you may regret later. Do not let it lead you to fall into the hands of those who are planning your downfall. It may be in the business line. You're about to close a business deal, but you just do something. There is a deliberate action. Maybe they just went to change some figures or change some data one way, and then they know how to concoct it. They just bring it on you, and in the presence of those you are supposed to do and sign the deal, you just exploded and just this is this the person you want to do business with? That's how the thing. Then those who settle will not be saying sorry. So I used to pray, God, please, those who will try to damage my life and come and say sorry later, please, Father, help me to remove them from my pathway. Very, very important. Once again, thank you. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to Synogal Reflections, so that when we come up with discussions like this, you'll be able to be informed accordingly. And share your comments and also share the likes. God bless you. Thank you once again. You are appreciated.